when I was in my early 20s, I worked in a group home. And obviously, we should have been working, right? We should have been working. We should not have been playing Ouija. But the individuals that we cared for were all in bed. They were sleeping, like dishes done, laundry's in, and we had a couple hours to go till the end of the shift. And I was like, hey, guys, you want to play Ouija? So I created a Ouija board on the big dining room table. And so me and all my coworkers were gathered around there. And we started playing Ouija and we started getting answers. And we were like, well, who are you? The person that we were talking to. And I remember specifically that he called himself a toy cop. And we were like, oh, like a security guard? And he said yes. And he said where he worked. I think he said Caldor or something like that. And it was untrue because the year that he said he died, Caldor wasn't even there. Like that wasn't a thing at the time. So he was lying, or people in the group were pushing the Ouija thing around the board, and we were believing it. But the reason that I know that there was something beyond just people playing a game and, maybe somebody steering the Ouija board in one direction or another was because at some point he started saying really crazy demonic things, this spirit that we were talking to. And I remembered my mother telling me when she took the Ouija board away that you could always surround yourself with the white light of Jesus Christ, and you can say in the name of Jesus, get out of here, to anything that you are scared of. She told me that as a teenager, and here I am in my early 20s, and I said something to the effect of, in the name of Jesus, go away. And the whatever we were using as the piece that you put your hands on, it flew across the table and we all physically went with it, like whoosh, like pulled, every single one of us. And we were all in shock. Now, anybody could have been moving that board, but nobody could have pulled us all across the table at the same time with that kind of force. It was crazy. And then after that, I was telling my best friend Danielle about what had happened on the phone. And this is the age of landlines, right? This is the late 80s. So I'm on the landline phone at work and I'm like, you're never going to believe this happened. And she's like, are you sure? Blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, this sounds so scary. And all of a sudden there's crackling in the phone. And then the phone goes dead. After that, anytime I talked to Danielle, the phone would go dead. So now time goes on and all kinds of weird stuff is happening, like, electrical disruptions. I can't talk to anybody on the phone, but nobody else is having a problem. And I only have a problem if it's a personal call, and especially Danielle. I'm at my mom's one day and I'm like, you told me not to play with Ouija, blah, blah, blah. I'm like probably hanging out with my mom for a little while. I didn't live with her, like probably helping her fold the laundry or whatever. And her VCR was on. And she's like, honey, it's probably just your imagination. And all of a sudden, the VCR just goes dead. Like you hear, and it stops. And we both looked at it. And I was like, I told you it's real. So I'm, again, trying to tell my friend Danielle about this. The phone is constantly cutting off, all these electrical disruptions, noises, weird things dropping. So Danielle and I are ready to go into a club one night. And we're sitting in a parking lot, I don't know, we're in our early 20s. So we're probably like putting on lipstick in the rearview mirror and BSing, right? Sitting in the car and we have the radio on. And I'm like, this is really freaking me out, Danny. This is, all this stuff is happening. And she's like, Laurel, maybe it's just your imagination. Maybe it's just a bunch of different things. Maybe there's just something wrong with the phone. It's all, it could be all coincidence. She's like, I'm getting a little scared, but I don't think it's real. And at that moment, the radio shut off dead. And she was like, I believe. Okay, I believe. I'm sorry. I said I didn't believe. It's real. I don't want this around. So we didn't have Google back then. There was no Google, there was no Facebook. There was like no way to find out information except old fashioned looking stuff up. So I started going to the library and I started going to bookstores and used bookstores and talking to people and researching, like old-timey researching, what do you do when you've invited a demon into your life, right? And I think this is a public service announcement. Everybody needs to do this. And I think it's much easier than you would think. I mean, I know it's much easier than you would think, and I think this could like apply to a lot of things in life besides demons. You have to tell it to go away and mean it. And it's as simple as that. So once I understood that, we had a conversation, like just me and him, and I was like, "Look, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. I'm done. I've had it. You got to go. Bye." And after that, things would happen. Lights would flicker. There would be more electrical disruptions with things. There would be issues with the phone. Stuff would drop off of shelves, whatever. And when it happened, I would be like, I'm not paying attention to you. I said go. Bye. And that was it. As long as I didn't feed the fire, it got bored and it went away, or it wasn't getting the attention it needed and it went away. And that was the end of my ghost. Sometimes you just got to know when to say goodbye.